You just saw the facade to a downtown building that, if I'm not mistaken, is right beside Connor McDavid's wife's Trove institution, which itself is an arts institution. That's interesting. I'm making that connection now. So what does that kind of wall piece say? Innovate, disrupt. It's the most Edmonton thing you can do. Guys, if I'm not mistaken, just recently it came to light that the Edmonton police have been working with a corrupt Winnipeg-based landlord. And there was a investigator, a detective, that brought this to light within the organization and was fired for it. Me bringing that to light, like doing this innovation, like disrupting shit, is gonna get me executed by the police. Stop with that poster, like with that wall piece, shut it down, like paint over it, just write psychopath. Get straight to the point. Okay. I can't tell you everything that had happened because my private life occurred. With those posters, kind of went around downtown and put a few on the few kind of public advertising poles that we have, with tape, which is not the best idea, with like duct tape, which isn't the best idea given that the adhesive is gonna freeze due to the temperature. But it's a start. And I had passed by Latitude 53, which is like the small niche art gallery institution in downtown and in the city, and it's like just a huge pile of shit right there. And like I'm leaving this place, my place, to go into the downtown core to fight the patriarchy, to fight psychopaths. I'm listening to the 1975. I'm literally getting my shit rocked, like, or I am, and then I'm going to be getting my shit rocked listening to the 1975. When I was coming home, I was listening to Design 19. Do you know how much of a snob I felt like doing the work that I am and then being like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna listen to? God, you can't get more artsy, pretentious, academic, stuffy, snobbish, endearing than that. I'm also listening to Hanover, Lebanon, Traders, that Toronto-based band. It's essentially goth and techno. Design 19 is cool. They're Finnish. If I'm not mistaken, their debut album came out in 2000. So, like, if I'm authentically making art, the pressure I face is being shown in galleries. And like the work that I've already done with the master's thesis proposal speaks to the institutionalized force against the working public in arts institutions, and also the artists in the broader community of the art world. And so I feel vindicated. I don't know if that's the right term. I feel validated in that I don't feel comfortable in a private sense to engage with these institutions on the grounds that my work is to be judged according to some sort of moral and ethical criteria. They're actually not interested in my survival, in my reproduction of a soulful experience. They have an end in mind that I don't support, and I had been unable to do anything my entire life until now. And so now it's like, wait a second. They want to engage with me. When, like, in our financial system, our value, the value we have of our money is based off of trust. I don't like that. There needs to be proof. And it's that this was I came to this realization like early in the walk today, and my private life is something I'm thinking about. Wow. This is why I wear sunglasses. The presence of this research nonprofit will be felt to such an extent that, like, and we're going to propose, like, listen, if you as an organization that are not on our platform literally want to promote democracy, because that's what our, like, work when kind of giving the public an opportunity to make their own, like, of these posters and then show them in a, like, art gallery context where that company engages with us to allow us to use their space. It's proof that they want to provide democracy in their community. This idea that you can engage with an institution and then, if they feel comfortable or on their own terms, want to validate your experience as a human is delusional. These companies don't want to promote democracy, and specifically when talking about the work regarding artists, they don't want to produce artistic expression. They want to manufacture value under capitalism. And I got to that point, like, as an intellectual idea immediately. And I have done the work to be able to get to that point, like, instantaneously. And it's that they can come to us as artists and say, we want to be a venue space for you guys because we want to be pro-democratic, in which case there's that proof. I don't trust these institutions to value my identity, whether or not we're talking like politically in my civil identity or as an artist. They have to show me proof. And so, like, all of this is subtext, or this is all just alongside a conversation that we're primarily having around the national value of being a citizen to a nation, where what is the value of being a citizen to a nation when you can buy your identity for tax purposes? And then the conversation of how is money valued comes into play, which is very important because it's both it's simultaneously a matter of within the art world and in civil private life. I can't believe I made these connections. This is really fucking crazy. And so having institutions come to us on our terms, like, is a huge power move. I'm going to the Mysore room now. It's going to start in, like, the next 30 minutes. Like, okay, I'll just make something up. So on this device, like, I'm posting these posters on, like, the public forum boards, and there's 1 billion posters. And so what could happen is everyone could be documenting and uploading their advertisements to this device. And it's just like, as a part of your personal experience of this device, you're scrolling, you see all the events, and it's such that when a company's on the platform, there's an internal search engine. So it's like, oh, I would like to go get, like, this type of food. all the companies that are already on the platform will be recommended. Like, we only recommend companies that are on the platform. And a part of it is like, oh, I'm like, because there could be music on this device, like an iPod, like 1,000 songs. And it's like, I know that I listen to goth and techno. So any like physical advertisements in the real world that support, like, are of that genre, besides the fact that they're already able for me to be seen specifically here, because like the fact that there's a hair salon grounding the community of like these advertisements and musicians, I guess specifically, serves to actually connect the public with the music, which is good because I love listening to good music. And it's just like, oh, I'm already listening to goth and techno, and then there's a new goth and techno show like playing. While I'm listening to the music, I'm going to get a recommendation on the software that there's actually a show I can go to. And I'm not trying to create an alternative. I'm just like to an alternative to any other technology. I'm just trying to parallel reality as I see it, so that I have an opportunity to privately use a technology that doesn't serve capitalism. And like, that's it. Like, to the extent that I'm online, it's through a device, through this device. And so it will hold me back in ways. Like, I'm not trying to become like a core presence in any music scene. I just, like, I don't care about being the I don't care to have a core presence in any scene. It's just that, like, at some level, this really benefits me because I have a social life grounded in this platform and in this premise. And isn't that fucking nice? Like, I get to have a little bit of technology, time to myself, a family, kids that are growing up healthy and strong. You're just gonna watch me for the next fucking 2.5 minutes, bro. I had gone to Edmonton Unlimited, got a chai latte out of a machine, talked to no one. It was a good experience. I was warming up because it's just so cold. Like, I could literally start taking I can sign up for the open studies program at the University of Alberta, start taking classes in my undergraduate degree, and work towards getting a degree in philosophy. So my parents are such pieces of shit that, like, I have to justify, and I had to justify and still do my existence. So me specifically having a really, really deep interest in art history had been choked out by the relationship my parents sold me, because they didn't have a relationship to me with me. It was always like this for that. It's like, it's called a transactional relationship, if I'm not mistaken. And like, I could get my schooling in art history. There's so much philosophy in that, but I don't get to indulge. So it's like, when we talk about privilege, like, shut the fuck up. Like, it doesn't matter to how you see me. Like, I have problems too. Like, do you know how much easier my life would be if I was like, oh, I'm just going to study classics, I'm just going to study art history. Instead, I have to like actually make like a point in scholarship that's like completely novel. My life serves to engage with my trauma, but at the expense of like a really real and personal dialogue that is like very dark. I should, like, spring semester, fall semester, yeah. And so hosting, like, having an art show, just finding an institution to have an art show and then titling it is like, you don't have to be ready as a person to be ready as an artist. And then on Jewish intellectualism, parentheses on Jewish intellectualism.